So in our last session, we excluded this dollar amount here because it was so much lower than my budget and other bids that had come in. So maybe we've done some more clarification to this number and so forth, and we figured out why the number is so low. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click on this little ellipsis here. I'm going to go to supplement, and maybe we found out that they missed, I don't know, just something of the bid and so forth. So maybe we're going to go ahead and say that we're going to add another $20,000 to their price for they missed a building or whatever the case was. So basically, I can add some dollars here to something to supplement their bid and so forth. So to take the $10,000 plus the $20,000 that I added. So now it's going to say their bid's at $30,000. This is also where it would be a good point to probably go in and actually put some notes on here. So I might add a note to say, maybe their first bid didn't include building B or whatever the case was. So as you look at this, you'll see a few things going on then. So one is I've got an arrow that basically means that it's got an up supplement to it, so adding money to it. I've also got this little thing in the corner here that if I hover over it, it'll tell me what the reason was that I made that adjustment. And then at this point, I can also come back to here and actually say that that is actually not going to be excluded anymore. So it'll just be in the normal process of going through the money of whether it's matches and so forth. So as you go through there, now that supplement could be a positive or a negative dollars. So if I come over to this heading here and said, maybe for some reason I'm going to go ahead and put a negative $100 on here for some reason. Now you notice that this is the down arrow. So that way, if you add money, it'll be the up arrow. If you've taken something off of it, it'll be a down arrow for the supplement. And then basically this little notch here basically represents a note. So if you put a note on here, if I put a note on the sub, those show up as a little symbol here at the side. So that's what it looks like. And there again, if I hover over it, it'll tell me whatever I put in there. So if I want to put something up on, a particular cell, so like in cases where I've got multiple dollars and multiple things, I want to put notes on, the actual phase itself, or if I want to just put it up at the top. The next thing I want to take a look at is I want to add another subcontractor here. And I'm going to say that this Bill's Complete Drywall, he's actually sent me a bid, and I actually want to attach the bid to his sheet in here, or to the metric. So there again, if I go up to this little ellipsis, Files, Attach File, Browse, and let's see, I've got that in my documents under Received Bids, and maybe that's a bid right there. So that way it uploaded it. It's a little hard to see because I've got such a long name on that one. So if I make it a little bit wider, you can see the little paper clip represents that I've got a file attachment on it. So if I go back up here and take a look at it, I could attach another file, or I could see a list of them, or I could take the attachment off if I got it on the wrong one or whatever the case is. If I click on it, it'll actually ask me what to do with it. So something interesting about the Firefox and opening up a web browser, but there's basically what that little attachment looks like. So basically some sort of a quote, and maybe it's got some sort of $115,000 for everything in it, let's say. So I could just go and close this down then. And maybe they include everything. So that way I could kind of see, now that this is in the mix, it's basically cheaper than any other combination as we're going through and so forth. I'm going to go ahead and say that for my next one, let's go back and say that maybe we've done this and that supplement's way too high on that one. So let's say that they didn't really miss that much once they looked at it again, and maybe they're only 8,000. So that way it puts them back in the low. So make sure to join us next session where we're going to look at the analyzing of different combinations than the lowest route.